Happy New Year! Welcome to 2024. And when it comes to New Year's, we can't talk about New Year's without talking about New Year's resolution. I recently learned a statistic that only 9% of New Year's resolutions actually succeed, which means that 91% of New Year's resolutions fail. I also learned that 23% of people quit their resolutions within the first week. So today is January 3rd. There's a chance that some people have already quit their resolutions. And diving deeper into that, 43% of people quit their resolutions by the end of January. I have a lot of things to say about why these resolutions fail, and also some perspective shifts that might help you stick to the resolutions you make and stick to the change that you really desire within. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie and I help people level up their lives mentally, physically, spiritually, aesthetically. When it comes to the aesthetics of it all, we all want to manifest a life that looks cool on the gram, but unless you are feeling fulfilled mentally, physically, spiritually, unless you have that balance within, you're not going to be able to keep that manifestation. Ask me how I know. I manifested a six-figure job that paid me to travel the world, but I didn't feel good on the inside. Just as quickly as I manifested that job got taken away from me. I had to do the work internally, mentally, physically, spiritually, before I could really, truly manifest. Do not forget to click subscribe because I'm gonna help you level up mentally, physically, spiritually to find that inner fulfillment. And then after you have a life that feels good on the inside, I'm gonna help you manifest a life that looks good on the outside. A lot of the things that I share here on this page is to help people to change their lives. I have changed so much. I have made so much change in my life, especially over the last 4 years, but really over the last decade. And I want to remind you that change does not happen overnight. We are not going to become a completely different person overnight. And if you've already quit your resolution, it's okay because we're humans. We make mistakes, we fail. The important thing is to get up and try again. A lot of times when it comes to New Year's resolutions, there's a lot of resolutions about weight loss and about making a change to go to the gym. I noticed at the gym there were a lot more people there in the last couple of days, and I think that's great. You know, some people think it's annoying or whatever, but I think it's great because someone's trying, and that's really the best thing that we can do as humans is just to try. Recently, I've been sharing about how I used to be fat and how I used to escape my feelings through food and smoking weed and how I had a lot of really unhealthy habits. I also shared about how I lost 35 pounds in just 6 months without a diet or an exercise, and that's from making change in my life. So the topic of change and resolutions is something that I really have a lot of expertise in because this is something that I've been doing myself for quite some time now. I want to offer a perspective shift when it comes to change because I think that a lot of the times our resolutions are failing not because we don't want to make the change, but because it's coming from a place of obligation or coming from a place of hatred towards ourselves, coming from like a very angry place. And the stories that we're telling ourselves about why we need to change are coming from a place of being down on ourselves and being negative on ourselves and talking to ourselves in really shitty ways. When it comes to the change that I've made in my life, I didn't start seeing real change in my life. I didn't start seeing change in my weight loss. I didn't start seeing change in my relationships. I didn't start seeing change in my finances until I started coming from a place of love. Until I started coming from a place of I want to eat healthy, not because I need to lose weight to look better for A, B, C, or D, but I want to eat healthy because my body deserves good food in my body. And I want to exercise and I want to move my body, not because I hate my body and I want to see it change and I'm angry about the fat or the cellulite that I have, but because I love my body and bodies require movement. So when it comes to New Year's resolutions, a lot of the time we're coming from a place of beating ourselves up because we didn't make enough change in 2023. So we're like, 2024 is my year. I'm going to change A, B, C, and D. We can't necessarily come from a place of being down on ourselves about the change we didn't make in 2023 and expect to actually make change in 2024. Instead of looking at what you didn't accomplish in 2023 and hoping to accomplish it in 2024, I want you to go back and reflect on what you did accomplish in 2023. Reflect on the things that you're proud of. Reflect on the changes that you already made. There are definitely things that you have to be proud of. Maybe you stood up for yourself to someone. Maybe you started going to the gym in 2023. And maybe you put down some bad habits, because sometimes the change that we need isn't to pick up new things, but it's rather to put down some other things. So maybe you got out of a shitty relationship. Maybe you put up some boundaries in other relationships. There's something that you have to be grateful for that you did in 2023. And instead of beating yourself up over the things you didn't do last year, I want you to reflect and pick up the things that you did do and continue them in 2024. Say, hey, I'm proud that I did this in 2023. Give yourself the credit, come from a place of love, and continue doing whatever it is in 2024. Instead of saying, I need to change A, B, and C, say, look what I changed. I changed X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to take that momentum into 2024. Be proud of yourself. When we are proud of ourselves, when we celebrate ourselves, it is a lot easier to make change than when we are down on ourselves, when we put ourselves down, when we're mean to ourselves. And I also want to remind you that 9 times out of 10, you would not talk to someone else the way we talk to ourselves. The way that you talk to yourself is so important. We have this subconscious mind. It's controlling about 95% of the things that we do, that we say. It controls our actions. It controls everything in our life. I'm going to put a video up here about how powerful the subconscious mind is. And once we learn to control that subconscious mind, we can learn to control everything else in our lives. And one of the first things you can do to control your subconscious mind is to start celebrating yourself. You have reasons to celebrate yourself. It is not egotistical to celebrate yourself. It is not a bad thing to celebrate your wins. We have this idea that the ego is all bad and that there's nothing good to come from the ego. I'm going to put another video up here to offer you a perspective shift on that, because the ego might be bad sometimes, but the ego can also be good. Tap into a healthy ego to support yourself, to help you to manifest the changes that you want to make in 2024. If you're ready to make a change in your life, you're ready to adopt some new habits, I'm going to link another video up here of some easy, small daily habits that can change your life. When we think about change, we think that change has to be drastic and it has to be like super crazy. It doesn't have to be crazy to be impactful. I'm also going to link a couple of articles in the description below about easy daily habits that can change your life and 8 small changes that I made in my life that had a really big impact on my overall well-being and my mental health. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Again, my name is Jackie and I help people change their lives mentally, physically, spiritually, aesthetically. Don't forget to click subscribe, because with me on your side in 2024, we're going to make some changes and we're going to level your whole life up. I make new videos every Wednesday, so do not forget to click subscribe, and I will see you next week.